athlete's career comes to an end, there's an assumption that that's the end of their story, but that's never really the case. Local 5 Sports Director Raina Garcia shares that for Drake football great Johnny Bright, the end of his football career was the beginning of something even more special.
Johnny Bright, the greatest football player in Drake history, remains ever present on the university's campus. From the football field that bears his name to the John D. Bright College, Drake's 2-year associate program. His legacy as an athlete and a scholar is held in high regard at his alma mater. Bright was one of the most talented and successful football players of his time, even though discrimination and racism presented countless roadblocks throughout his career.
Johnny had a commitment to himself that I am going to succeed despite people trying to pull me down, people not wanting me to succeed.
His career began to take shape while at Drake. Bright was a multi-sport athlete, but football was where he excelled most. During his sophomore season, he achieved his longtime goal of playing quarterback at the college level and totaled 1,950 yards, making him the first sophomore player ever to lead the NCAA in total yards for a single season. He had another record-breaking season during his junior year, and by his senior year, he was considered a favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. Despite being the school's star player, you couldn't tell by how he was treated.
He couldn't live on campus because blacks were not allowed to live on campus in those days. You couldn't eat your meals in the dining hall with the rest of the students. They were not allowed to do that.
Johnny couldn't escape the prejudice on the football field either. In what's known today as the Johnny Bright incident, Johnny's jaw was broken during a game against Oklahoma A&M in 1951 as a result of a vicious hit by one of the Oklahoma A&M linemen, despite not even having the ball. Even after the incident, there was no doubt that Johnny was destined for a great pro football career. But Johnny also had his sights on another dream of his.
For him, athletic prowess opened the door to ongoing education, and he chose to study education when he came to Drake. So it wasn't just that he came to Drake to get an education, he already had the ambition of paying it forward.
After college, Johnny had a Hall of Fame career in the Canadian Football League.
Who gets that big hole and goes down the sideline. Patterson has a shot at him. He's still going all the way. 41 yards by that man who is...
But that's not where Johnny's story ends. By the time he decided to hang up his cleats for good, he was ready to write the next chapter in his life.
After the athletic career is done, Johnny got a second act.
That second act would prove to be just as impactful as his first. After his retirement from football, Johnny remained in Canada and began his career as a teacher. He eventually worked his way up to becoming a principal within Edmonton Public Schools.
The chance to be in the stadium lights, you know, all eyes on you with the football making the big play, when that ends, Johnny turns his attention to something as demanding, arguably higher impact, but lower profile, and never regrets having made that decision. Never thinks this is a consolation prize.
He had spent almost 2 decades working in education up until his death in 1983. He was just 53 years old.
It really feels like that education and his career in education feel more like the culmination of a lifelong career, rather than a coda or an addendum or an afterthought.
Johnny had made such a profound impact on his community that a school in Edmonton was named after him in 2010. In 2020, Drake named its 2-year associate program after Johnny. In all aspects of his life, Johnny was a shining example of grit, resilience, and dedication.
If you have a goal in mind, let that goal be a burning fire inside of your heart and in your mind, and that no one is going to take that goal away from you. Johnny Bright didn't let that happen to him.
Almost 4 decades after his death, his life still providing lessons that future generations can learn from.